I mentioned last time that we can get some aspects of behavior from tracks. And again, here's a long list of possible things that we've seen, as well as an image of a beautiful set of trackways up the side of this mountainside. This is a mountain in Australia. Very, very interesting. Back to the question of matching the track maker to the tracks themselves. And these are some that have been successfully matched with a particular track. So carnosaurs, so Eubrontes, Glenrosensis, Eubrontes giganteus, etc., various ornithopods, various sauropods. So you see, across the gamut of dinosaurs that we've covered, we do have an array of their tracks. We can look at their posture. So interestingly, you can see this sets of bipedal organisms, facultative bipedal, quadrupedal, etc., and they leave unique sets of footprints. Really, really interesting. Can we get speed from tracks? In general, yes. If you have a larger stride length, that correlates with a greater speed. Think about yourself running. If you're running, you're taking a greater stride length. If you forget what stride length is, go to the previous slide set. And so this graph is simply measuring or graphing relative stride length as the y-axis and dimensionless speed as the x-axis, and you see that's a pretty tight positive correlation. So we do that as well. Several aspects of behavior that we cannot find from tracks. First of all, dinosaurs did not drag their tails. Tails have gone a renaissance as far as dinosaur studies are concerned. The earliest examinations of dinosaurs, we thought that they dragged their tails just like lizards would today, but they're very, very rarely found. It's very rare to find a tail mark. In fact, now we know that dinosaurs had a posture such that their tails were always up in the air. Think about, say, your dog or your cat. Their tails are always up in the air. They're not dragging on the ground. We also find no great stride lengths, and therefore, even though you might hear about some really high estimates, like this one here, 40 kilometers per hour, that's an automobile speed in the city, we just don't have any evidence of that. And then finally, other aspects of behavior that used to be considered accepted and are now disputed. There is no evidence that dinosaurs were largely involved with the water, so not constantly immersed in water as we used to think for the giant sauropods or swimmers. There's no good evidence for obligate quadrupeds rearing up on hind limbs, although you will see a lot of videos where the special effects artists have done this. They've made these large sauropods reach up even higher by standing on their hind limbs. You will see, and I'll mention it too, that you have evidence of confrontations. A theropod coming up on a herd of ornithopods and attacking them. I don't know. And then, of course, no other sort of modes of locomotion. No hopping, galloping, walking backwards, skipping, etc., etc.